And breaking news coming in, the legal tussle continues in the 30,000 crore estate row involving the inheritance of Sanjay Kapoor in the wake of his death. Now, as actor Karisma Kapoor's legal team has now given out this piece of information where they have opposed a plea filed by Priya Sachdev in the top court of the country. Priya Sachdev had approached the Supreme Court seeking access to the divorce documents related to Sanjay Kapoor and Karisma Kapoor when it comes to not just child custody but also the financial arrangements after their divorce back in 2016. However, Karisma Kapoor's counsel has objected to the plea, arguing that it's not maintainable under law. The court, however, has issued a notice on the plea filed by Priya Sachdev and has directed Karisma Kapoor's counsel to file a formal response within 2 weeks. Now, while the objection on maintainability was raised, the court has also kept the issue open for consideration given the entire tussle over the 30,000 crore inheritance of Sanjay Kapoor and the fight between Priya Sachdev and Karisma Kapoor's children. I'm joined by my colleague Ananya Bhatnagar. Ananya, we were discussing this yesterday as well, the fight over the 30,000 crore estate, and Priya Sachdev has demanded the details of the divorce agreement back in 2016, not only when it comes to the financial arrangements, but even the custody arrangements in that 2016 agreement.
Well, absolutely. In fact, Karisma Kapoor's lawyers have actually opposed this particular plea that has been filed before, in fact, the Supreme Court seeking, the kind of divorce decree and the divorce documents between Sanjay Kapoor and Karisma Kapoor, saying that, Priya Kapur Sachdev is a third party to this, complete proceeding and cannot seek these documents because these are personal in nature. Not only that, the court has asked, in fact, Karisma Kapoor's lawyers to actually put their, response on or objections on record, but has clearly refused to issue a notice at this particular stage. The hearing would be happening after 2 weeks have been given to actually put their objections on record, and very clearly Karisma Kapoor's lawyers have opposed this particular plea by Priya Kapur Sachdev, saying that it's not maintainable in law because Priya Kapur Sachdev has no locus because she is a third party to these divorce proceedings and she is nobody connected to this particular case, and hence these documents cannot actually be given to Priya Kapur Sachdev because divorce proceedings are usually personal in nature and these documents cannot be shared, is what in fact Karisma Kapoor's lawyers have actually argued before, in fact, the topmost court of the country. Remember that this hearing was in chambers, hence it was not something that was happening in an open court. So very clearly at this juncture, what we know so far is that 2 weeks time has been given out to file objections, and the hearing has been adjourned today. However, very clearly Karisma's counsels have opposed this particular petition, and we'll have to wait and watch as to how things fold out and where will this whole family feud go up to.
In fact, we're getting another big update that's coming in where Ananya, in fact, spoke to Sanjay Kapoor's sister, Mandhira Kapur Smith, when it comes to this entire push coming in from Priya Sachdev in the top court of the country. Now, she has termed Priya Kapoor knocking the Supreme Court's door as a ridiculous act. Mandhira has also questioned Priya's need for Karisma and Sanjay Kapoor's divorce documents from back in 2016. Listen in.
Call recording floating, Mandhira, with regards to Priya Sachdev Kapoor. How do you see these developments taking place? Because since the judgment is already reserved and these call records, which are purportedly floating on social media, tell a different story altogether.
Well, I've always said from the beginning that the truth will come out. And I stand by that. The truth will come out. It's now... Let's see what plan they have to cover it up, whether they, what excuses they're going to come up with. But as far as I go, I've always stood by the truth will come out, and I believe in the justice system in this country. That seems to be happening now.
Priya Sachdev Kapoor has knocked the doors of the Supreme Court, seeking the divorce papers of Sanjay Kapoor and Karisma Kapoor. How do you see these developments? Because certain financial details have also been sought as far as things.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Number one, she has nothing to do with it. Secondly, she's already shown it in court, which she shouldn't have, because she's not brought out her divorce, information. No one's asked her. I don't know why she's brought Karishma's out, firstly. She has nothing to do with it, and she has nothing to do with the divorce. So I think it's a bit ridiculous that she has actually gone to the lengths to the Supreme Court to ask for these documents when A, she already has them. B, what are you trying to achieve?
there's a claim that has been made, in fact, by Priya Sachdev Kapoor in a written submission that's been filed before, in fact, the Delhi High Court, wherein she claims that she has borne the expensive of Karishma's children after, in fact, Sanjay Kapoor's death. How do you see that? She has given an amount of over 96 lakh rupees that she has spent on the children as far as their travel and everything else is concerned.
Simple question, is she spending on Azaris? Because those are also my brother's kids. She's not doing any favors. Those are my brother's kids, so they have to be looked after. No one's doing any favors, and again, this is not her estate to be doing anything for anyone. So let's bring out her 2 kids' expenses and see what they're spending on them. Don't try and act like she can't act like she's doing any favors here. These are my brother's kids. This is our estate.
One thing that she has very categorically mentioned during the arguments also and in her written submissions is that both Ms. Rani Kapoor and the children of Karisma Kapoor have already gained a substantial amount of Sanjay Kapoor's wealth as far as the Rani Kapoor Trust is concerned. They've been given a big amount as per Priya Sachdev Kapoor. Is this something that you subscribe by, and why basically she is questioning as to why then after receiving such a big amount these people are knocking the doors of the Delhi High Court?
Firstly, let me make it really clear. It's not hers to give to anyone. It doesn't belong to her, number one. Number two, nobody has received anything. It's all lies. Let her back it up with some truth. But firstly, again, I'm going to stick to it's not hers to give. And again, I'm going to say, if she's so thinking about giving 19 crores or whatever she's claimed, why doesn't she keep that and give the rest back to the family? Because it's not hers to give.
Well, absolutely. In fact, this is the kind of position that's emerging. The judgment is to come out very, very soon. It's already reserved. How hopeful are you with the Delhi High Court's judgment?
Again, I'll say I believe in the justice system. I think it's very clear to everybody what is going on, and more comes out every day. I think the ridiculousness of asking to the Supreme Court for a divorce papers or agreement, which has happened between someone who would, Lolo, Karisma and Sanjay, Sanjay is her ex-husband, but she has nothing to do with Karisma. So I don't understand. You can see the ridiculousness to distract and do all this rubbish for what? Let's just come out with the truth. Let's be done with this. You've got a whole family suffering this for what?
And Ananya continues to be with us on the broadcast. Ananya, just decode for our viewers, where could the law lean on this, as the Supreme Court has not dismissed the plea that's come in from Priya Sachdev? Now, given the fact that she has sought details about the inheritance agreement that was between Karisma Kapoor and Sanjay Kapoor during their divorce in 2016, she sought the modalities of that agreement in their divorce agreement, and that's why she wants access to those records. Isn't that the nub of the entire tussle between the two sides? Because the family has made it extremely clear that the truth must come out. And Priya Sachdev's argument is that through getting access to those divorce records, the truth will come out.
Well, absolutely. That's exactly what Priya Kapur Sachdev is saying, though we might not preempt as to what the Supreme Court would be doing. It has not taken any view as far as the maintainability of this petition is concerned, because it has asked Karisma Kapoor's lawyers to actually, raise their objections in writing before the Supreme Court. And only after that, a proper hearing would actually take place in this particular matter, where Priya Kapur Sachdev is seeking, in fact, the divorce documents of Karisma Kapoor and Sanjay Kapoor. But Karishma's counsels have clearly objected to the same, saying that she's a third party to this particular issue. And since divorce documents are something that are very, very personal in nature, the same cannot actually be given. This petition shall not be entertained as far as the topmost court of the country is concerned. As far as the Delhi High Court judgment is concerned, we heard Mandhira saying that, she has, in fact, a lot of faith in the judicial system. And very soon we might see that the judgment from the Delhi High Court would come in. Remember that Karishma's counsels have constantly told the court that Priya Kapur Sachdev is a kind of a Cinderella stepmother who took away everything from Sanjay Kapoor's children, especially the ones from Karisma Kapoor. Not only that, Rani Kapoor, who's the mother of Sanjay Kapoor, has also accused Priya Kapur Sachdev of wrongdoing, saying that, various people, unknown people, had actually locked her into a room, and certain documents were signed soon ahead of Priya Kapur Sachdev taking on the board of directors of Sona concern. And that is something, that makes it very, very fishy as far as this family feud is concerned. So we'll have to wait and watch as to how things pan out and where would all of this actually lead to.
Right, but Ananya, just from a legal point of view, the fact that Karisma Kapoor's legal team as well as certain people connected to her have talked about aspects of those of that divorce agreement in public. Could Priya Sachdev's legal team use that as an opening to argue against the plea now that Karisma Kapoor's legal team has filed that in the top court, opposing Priya Sachdev's plea to get access to those documents?
Karishma's counsels have not yet filed anything before the Supreme Court. They have to file it in 2 weeks. And very clearly at this juncture, what is very, very clear is that the Supreme Court is also to decide on the maintainability, because that issue has been raised by Karishma Kapoor's counsels. But whether Priya Kapoor Sachdev will succeed or not is something that only time can tell us, or the Supreme Court could. But very clearly, the judgment and the arguments before the Delhi High Court have also been reserved. The arguments had been addressed for almost months, and then the judgment was reserved in December 2025. So we'll soon see that the judgment would come out, and some kind of settlement as far as the law is concerned would be done as per this family feud is concerned. So at this particular juncture, all eyes are on the Delhi High Court and the Supreme Court as far as these two petitions are concerned.
Right, so we'll have to wait and see what the Supreme Court has to make of the arguments from both sides, given the fact that Priya Sachdev has said that when it comes to the entire question of inheritance, details of that divorce agreement between Sanjay Kapoor and Karisma Kapoor back in 2016 needs to be accessed to reveal the truth about what was that divorce agreement, what was the modality of the inheritance, as well as child custody, as well as those financial arrangements that were made in that 2016 agreement. We'll have to wait and see where the Supreme Court